Uh, in today's class, we are going to learn about matrix algebra. This is matrix algebra is the first concept of second unit. So, what is the first concept of second unit? It's a revisiting vector and a matrix algebra. Okay, revisiting vector and a matrix algebra is the first concept under a second unit of artificial neural network, right? So in yesterday's class, we have learned about revisiting of a vector. I mean, under this, what is the definition of a vector and different forms of vector, different laws under the vector, everything we have discussed in yesterday's class. Okay, in today's class, okay, we are going to know about a matrix and its some formulas or some rules and regulations of matrix and some kinds of matrix and how we are going to perform some actions or operations with the matrix. So these are all can be learned in today's class. So now we are in first topic of second unit, right? Okay, let us start. Okay, this is the now about matrix algebra. What is the matrix here? Okay, an Mn to n matrix is a rectangular array of m into n scalars in m rows and n number of columns. Okay, so what is a matrix? Matrix is a one kind of one of the rectangular array. What is an array here? Array is a collection of heterogeneous data elements, isn't it? It has a collection of heterogeneous elements is called a array. For example, if you take A equal to, okay, you may represent, suppose the values are 20, 5, 16, okay, like this. These are the three values under a array A, isn't it? So these are all the which kind of data type values? Integer data type values. 20, 5, 16, all are one heterogeneous data. It's a collection of heterogeneous data under a single heading. The array name is here A. So now, what is the similarity between matrix and array is? Okay, a matrix is a rectangular array. Rectangular means it's just a shape, which means m number of rows into n number of columns. A row is represented by using m and columns are represented by using m number of rows and m number of columns. Okay, if one array has m number of rows, 3 number of rows and 3 number of columns. Okay, 3 into 3. So automatically this is in the shape of rectangular shape, isn't it? If our array has 25, 16 and 6 and 0, 7, 2 and 16, 6. I said these are the values under the A. Okay, this is also like an array with m number of rows and n number of columns, and this shape is in the form of rectangular. So a matrix is a rectangular array of mn scalars in m rows and n columns. Okay. Next, a matrix is denoted by uppercase letter. See here. Here we have taken A. It is denoted by using uppercase letter. And its entries are identified by the corresponding lower case letters. So this matrix A entries are denoted by using lowercase letter small a11, small am1, small a1n, like that. These are entries are represented by using lowercase letter with double subscript. So 1 1 1 2 1 3 2 1 2 2 2 3. So two subscripts here we have. So this is the representation of a matrix here. A matrix with m rows and n columns. Clear? Right. And here the above matrix A is called a square matrix or rectangular matrix. Okay, A is called a square matrix when the m equal to n. If number of rows and number of columns in a matrix should be equal, then that matrix is called a square matrix. Isn't it? If m value is 2 and n value is 2, then that particular matrix is called a square matrix. Isn't it? Next, the AJ with I equal to J are called diagonal entries, which means the subscript values are equal. If particular matrix subscript values are equal, then those are the diagonal entries. Already you know that. Okay, so if assume this is A, this is B, and this is A. For example, so A11, A12, A21, A12, A13, isn't it? This one is A12. This one is A11. So here, when you represent the diagonal entries, so when the 1 in the sense I value and J value are equal, I equal to J, automatically, okay, that entries are called diagonal, which means I equal to J means A11. 11 is I value is 1, J value is 1, that is 20. Okay, next here A21, sorry, 22 is 7, diagonal value, and A33 is 6, that is also a diagonal value. Okay, now that is about diagonal values. Next, so you may add, you can apply, you can perform the some of the operations of this matrix. Those operations are called the additions. You may add the two matrix, or you may subtract the matrix. So whenever we are going to perform this addition or subtraction, so the corresponding entries are just like same. Okay, you may apply addition operation and subtraction operation on the different matrices here. And here we are having different kind of matrices. That is, one is zero matrix. Whenever a matrix is called a zero matrix, that all the entries in that particular matrix are zeros only. Okay, if one matrix has, okay, all the zeros within it, then that kind of matrix is called a zero matrix. For example, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, all the entries in a particular matrix are 0, then this matrix A is called a zero matrix. Okay, always the zero matrix actually denoted by using O, right? So with the O only, the zero matrix should be represented. Is it clear? Next, maybe you can define a negative matrix also. Okay, you may have a negative matrix. Negative matrix in the sense the entries of the particular matrix are negative. So such kind of matrix is called a negative matrix. Not only that, you may, okay, you may calculate the product with particular matrix by using a scalar value. By using a scalar value. For example, if the scalar value is 2, okay, if here you have a one matrix with some entries, it's also 2, 3, 1, 1, 6. Okay. Now you are going to calculate some product. X equal to A into S. What is S here? The scalar A into S. Here S is a scalar. Clear? So okay, here A is a matrix here. Okay, S is a scalar value, that is 2. Right? This is 2 is a scalar value and this is a matrix here. You can calculate the product of these two also. Clear? And next, you can multiply the matrix with a vector also. We have a matrix A, that matrix should be multiplied by using a vector also. What is a vector here? In yesterday's class, we have learned about vector. Vector is a, it's a vertical column entries, or otherwise horizontal row entries is called a vector. So here the vector should be, the matrix should be multiplied by using a vector also. For example, see, here there is a matrix A and there is a vector X. A has the values. These are the A matrix values. And the X vector values are this one. What is this? This is a vertical column values, isn't it? Vertical column values are small x1 to small xn. And the matrix are small a11 to small mn. These are the matrix values entries, or these are the vector entries. If you want to perform the multiplication or product of these two, you can do, isn't it? This is the output of this particular product. How you are going to get this output? Okay, it's like a multiply the row values with the column values, isn't it? A11 into x1 plus A12 into x2 plus A1n into xn. This is first, this is the first row of a resultant matrix. And if you want to calculate the last row, then am1 into x1, am2 into x2, amn into xn. This is the last row of a resultant matrix. Okay, this is a multiplication of a matrix with a vector. Clear? Next, here we have some manipulation rules of the matrix. What are those rules? So here O into X equal to O. What is O here? Say zero matrix. Zero matrix into a vector matrix equal to 0. Or otherwise, a matrix into a zero matrix is also a 0. So a matrix can be multiplied with a zero matrix, then the resultant matrix will be the 0. The vector is going to multiply with that zero matrix, then also the result will be the 0. This is the one of the rule here. And next one, here the product of scalar into a matrix into a vector, and this is same as a into x of s or a into xs. These three are the same here. And also the negative matrix is multiplied with a vector. You get one kind of output. That result should be same as like this. Minus of a into x equal to a into minus x. These three are the same. Next one, distributive law. In distributive law, we are going to add the a plus b, matrix a plus b into x equal to ax plus bx. Or otherwise, you can take like this also. Matrix A of x plus y equal to ax plus a into x plus a into y. These two are the distributive laws, isn't it? Okay, not only this, now we are going to see if you want to multiply a matrix with, if you want to multiply a matrix with x to the power of t, in the sense it is also a vector matrix. Okay, but the representation is different here. Till now we have done with a vector matrix. See here, this is the x. This x can be represented here vertical column, isn't it? Now, whenever you are going to write x in x to the power of t, which means automatically the vertical column values are represented in horizontal rows. The same, the vertical values are represented in horizontal row. So that is called xt. We have seen in yesterday's class. X and x is a vector matrix. X to the power of t is also a vector matrix. What is the difference of these two? Okay, here in x, the values are represented in a column manner, isn't it? In xt, the values are represented in row manner. Okay, the values are represented like this, column manner. Here the values are represented like this. Both are same, but the representation is different. Okay, then this concept already we have learned in yesterday's class itself, right? See here, now we are going to perform, okay, the same vector matrix with a matrix, vector with a matrix. See, this is a row vector with the matrix. Like this, we can perform the product of these two also. Same. Here we have performed a into x. Now x to the power 2 into a. The same result you may get here, isn't it? So x1, which means a row into column, isn't it? So in such a manner, we are going to perform the multiplication with the vector. Similarly, we have some associative law for this matrix. X to the power of 2, x to the power of t of a into y equal to x to the power of t of a into y equal to x to the power of t into y. Both will give the same kind of results. This is the associative law. Okay. Next, here we are going to learn. You may what multiply one matrix with another matrix. Already you know that A is one matrix and B is another matrix. Here we are going to perform the multiplication in between two matrices. Then you can get this kind of resultant matrix. Okay, here also you are going to perform what it is. Just it is also a row into column. Whenever we are going to perform a product between two matrices or matrix into what vector, so it is obviously a row values into a column values, isn't it? So that is the resultant matrix here you have. With this, we have some more manipulation rules. Is there? What are those? Suppose whenever a matrix is multiplied with a zero matrix, then resultant is the result of that matrix is zero. Okay, 0 with A is 0, 0 with B is 0, isn't it? And after that, the scalar value into A, okay, S into A, after that, B equal to S of A into B or A into A of S into B. So these three statements are same. If you want to multiply, you can perform the multiplication on A matrix and the B matrix. After that, the resultant matrix will be multiplied with scalar value also. You can get same result, or otherwise you can multiply the scalar value with B. After that only you can perform with A, then also will get same result. Okay. And in the same manner, here you can check the negative matrices. Negative matrix of A into C or minus A into C or A into minus C. Okay, for these three statements, you can get a resultant matrix is same. And also, next, if you'll observe the distributive laws, right? If you observe some distributive laws, so A plus B, if you'll perform the A matrix addition with B matrix, then after that, if you're going for product of C, the same result you will get A into C plus B into C. In the same manner, first you have here you are going to perform C plus D. After that, then you are going to perform with the multiplication of A matrix. You will get the same result of A into C plus A into D. Okay, these are the some manipulation rules of a matrix. Clear? And you can represent these matrices values in the form of linear substitutions. Okay, you can write like this also. If you will take one value Z1 equal to A11 into Y1 plus A12 into Y2 and so on. So you can represent like this, or otherwise you can derive in the below form also. These are all the products, isn't it? Next, we are going to learn about transpose of a matrix A. So transpose of a matrix A in the sense here, okay, the row value will be represented as column values. In transpose in the sense the row value will be represented as column values. For example, if we have A equal to, okay, 2 to 6 6. This is one matrix, as in A matrix. How you are going to, okay, get the result of transpose matrix? Okay, then the reverse of row values into column values, which means 2 2 and 6 6. This is the resultant matrix for A transpose, which means, okay, the row values will be converted into the column values, isn't it? This is the matrix transposition. And after that, here we are having some rules, manipulation rules. So what are those? A transpose, okay, A matrix can be performed to 2 times transpose, then you will get a normal value, okay, which means ATT performed 2 times means again you will get a just A itself, isn't it? So this is 180, the result of 180. Suppose for this 80 also again you are going to perform, okay, one more T, which means now I'm going to take ATT. So from AT I'm going to transfer the result like so. So here the row values are represented as columns 2 6. The row values are represented as column 2 6, isn't it? So ATT equal to A. See, these both matrices are same or not? Yes, same. So this is the role, one of the role. Is it clear? Okay. If you perform 2 times transpose operations on particular matrix, then you will get a original matrix. This is the resultant matrix. Clear? Right. After that, A plus B to the power of transpose equal to A transpose plus B transpose. In the same manner, 0 matrix transpose equal to 0 matrix. There is nothing difference for if you will apply a transpose operation of 0 matrix, isn't it? So you will get a 0 matrix. At the same time, if you will perform scalar value, means scalar into a matrix, for these two transpose, you can apply the transpose, that same you will get S into A to the power of transpose. You will get the result. Okay. So next here you are going to apply inverse matrices. When you call inverse matrices here, inverse matrix in the sense, whenever you will be multiply the two matrices, then you will get inverse matrix. Okay, the product of two matrices, then that will be the, will get inverse matrix. Inverse matrix in the sense, what is I here? I equal to, okay, 1 0 0 1. This is called inverse matrix. Okay, if any two matrices you will be, okay, one matrix you will be multiply with the inverse matrix, you will get again the inverse matrix itself. Okay, that is the inverse matrix here. And next, coming to the last one, determinants. Determinants in the sense, here we are going to calculate the determinant of matrix A. How you are going to calculate the determinant of a matrix A in the sense, here you are going to product of these values. A11 in A11 into A22 minus A12 into A21. This is the calculation of determinant for a 2 by 2 matrix. Okay, if we will observe this one for 3 by 3 matrix means, okay, you need to perform these values. Okay, A11, A22, A33 plus, say, A, this is one, this is the first one, this is the A12, A23, A12, 23 and 31. After that, A13, 21, A13, 21, 32. So A13, 21, 23. So if we'll perform, add these values, again, you may go for subtraction. This kind of operations are called determinants. These kinds of things also performed in a matrix. This is about today's class.